The seventh house is actually where your ego gets tested before your transformation house. So the seventh house is all about projection. It's where you're actually negotiating your identity with other people. It's how we manage how we perceive ourselves. So this is also where we can trade our us being authentic for other people's approval. It's where we borrow our identity from other people. We let them become the reference for who we believe we are. So if you find a partner, you're actually discovering where your unconscious patterns are. People, they usually stop like at the seventh house with saying that it's a relationship, it's marriage, it's, the other, which they are right. But, when it comes to your whole story, the seventh house is where we attract people that show us exactly where we stand in our identity, the first house. So betrayal actually starts when we're abandoned in the seventh house, but like abandoned by ourselves. Because, like I said, the seventh house is our mirror. Other people are reflecting us back to ourselves. So, yes, we might seek love here. Betrayal actually starts in the seventh house when we abandon ourselves, for like approval. This is where the devil gets to you. This is where they start to test you. And the devil, it's more over just negative thoughts about who you are, about your ego, your identity, what you believe you are. That's the devil. So testing you. So it's like, do I seem okay? Am I lovable? This is where we try to be accepted before we try to be authentically us. And when we abandon ourselves in those relationships, this is when we get to the door of the eighth house. This is where we feel betrayed. This is when we start feeling, dependent on people, afraid to enmesh ourselves with more people. This is trauma. They say the eighth house is the trauma house. We might feel manipulated here, haunted by the patterns that we refuse to look at from other people. Like, we can blame ourselves for other people reflecting us back to us. So you have to start asking yourself, if I change who I am to keep this connection, am I really me? You're basically negotiating who you are to other people, and we don't want to do that. We want to be authentic. There's no negotiating anything here. This is who I am. Sorry. This is who I am. I'm not negotiating a thing. So with Virgo here, I just want to explain, because this is my chart. With Virgo here, I would be constantly, devoting myself to other people when really I'm trying to devote to myself. Do you understand? Like, I'm just looking at this. I don't even have to know. I do, but I don't even have to know what's going on here. All I see is this vertex here. This is another story, a fated point. I get my lessons and I can change when I pay attention to what's going on in my relationships. Therefore, I can actually start seeing myself. That's this opposition right here. You're going to meet yourself in other people, but you cannot become that, because that is your false identity talking. Those people who are reflecting and projecting on you, telling you, like being hella critical, that's that Virgo energy, being extremely critical of who you are, telling you about yourself. You aren't telling them enough about you. You aren't presenting yourself. I'm talking to myself, but you're not presenting yourself to where they honestly respect that identity of you. And then with the access of Pisces and Virgo, that also plays into account what I've been talking about this whole time. I need to surrender my ego from trying to refine my partners or the relationship itself or how people see me, and just do that. It sounds simple, but you're not going to see this until you're constantly being reflected and having terrible relationships. So yeah, can you actually hold your own identity, loving other people without disappearing, without turning into them. Because like I said, this is a mirror. Okay, this is Libra energy. This is self-abandonment. Self-abandonment starts here. And then with the 8th house, and this is why there's trauma. But you can't come out of this until you look at yourself.